Here with Sarah Hanlon, the winner of Big Brother Canada Season 3. How does that sound?
Oh, I like the sound of that. That's got some bells to it.
So, we've already been talking in the pre-interview. I think you know where I stand. Now, I want to set the record straight. It's not that I don't like Sarah's game. It's that I just feel like there's this twist that's sort of like hanging over me, sort of giving you the kudos. You know, do you feel that way or not at all?
I want to say I'm very grateful for the twist. And yes, it helped us tremendously. And it definitely saved B, who was on the block. But if you remember, I saved myself with my own veto that week, and I won HOH next week. So I at least would have been safe for another week. And we all know I can talk myself out of sticky situations. So who knows? Maybe I would have pulled it out.
You know, I feel like, and I think a lot of the jury members that I've been speaking to have been highlighting this point that, like, your manipulation and your gameplay was really sort of in your face, and everybody could sort of see it. Whereas Godfrey's, you know, people watching at home, oh my God, what a great player. But the jury's just like, what the hell is this guy doing? He's just like sleeping all day. Do you feel like your aggressive play helped you earn the 7 votes?
Yes. And here's the thing. I am one of Godfrey's biggest supporters. I think his game was impeccable. But the thing is, if you don't build those emotional connections and follow through on your word, Godfrey made a lot of false promises and a lot of lies that then people felt slighted by. I was honest when I could be. I think one of the things I always said about Big Brother is don't lie when you don't have to. When I watch Big Brother as a fan and I see people skirting around or beating around the bush when they know what you're talking about, you just put it out there in the open. And I called people on. I put
all the time.
All the time. And I feel like that really helped me. I didn't want to play the game with fear. And I feel like Godfrey's game was a little bit more of a fearful game. He didn't want to make those big risks. But I came here to play, and I wasn't just going to sit back.
And I also think that, like, you know, I feel like you were more in a danger position than Godfrey ever was, you know? And so can you elaborate a little bit on that? Because, like, Godfrey never really had to fight for his life.
No, exactly. I knew, like, week 1, and then when Neha went home especially, my name was coming out of people's mouths left, right, and center. I was put as one of the most intelligent, one of the most likely to win. I needed to do something. I couldn't just sit, and I didn't have people, like, he says he was alone. He had Bruno, he had Greg at the beginning, he had Bobby. Eventually, he convinced Zach and those guys that he wasn't going after them. Everybody wanted me out at a certain point. And so I needed to be out there. I needed to put the target on other people's back.
When Neha left, can you talk about the impact that had on your game? Because I kept saying, you know, when I saw Neha and Johnny, I'm just like, man, if you guys had just made it a little bit further, this turned into the Sarah and Brittany show, and it could have easily been the Sarah, Brittany, Johnny, and Neha show.
That was the alliance that never was, that could have rocked this game, you know? We were 4 strong fans of the show, people who came to play, and we really had a good bond at the beginning. We're going to play a similar game. So I would think all the time when Cindy came back in the house, I thought, oh, if only we could have just kept Johnny, Neha, Cindy, me, and Brittany, that would have been awesome. But I felt like the Grim Reaper of alliances. I would make an alliance, and that week they would go home.
Do you feel like your Netta shirt brought you luck?
Yes. How could my Netta shirt not have brought me luck? I wore it, maybe you could tell, on days when I needed a little bit of luck. So yeah, I love Netta. I respect her gameplay huge. So I wore it to remind me, like, you know, you're here for a reason. Be inspired by people who played the game well.
You know, I think that getting Bruno out was a huge play, and I never saw that guy ever leaving. So can you talk about his, especially given your, like, tenuous relationship at best, can you talk about him leaving, and do you feel like that was probably one of the big turning points of the season?
Oh, absolutely. He didn't trust me for a second, and I didn't trust him for a second, and we would try, and we would just bash heads. I would have conversations with him where I went in thinking, okay, mend your fences here with Bruno, stay calm, and it would just end in like another blowout. I think we were playing very similar games. I think he was smart, and he was like me. He called things out when he saw them, and he really wanted things to go his way, and I wasn't gonna do that. And so I knew that he needed to go, and he needed to go before Zach, and I'm so grateful for Brittany for that, because I think Zach was gunning for Brittany a little more, and Bruno was gunning for me a little more, but it was a smart move to make that play, because then we got Godfrey. Like, we split up that group a little bit. So
was it always your plan to let Brittany get her hands dirty while you're wearing the white dress?
No, I honestly tried in every single comp. I tried my hardest. But it was my plan to use people's HOHs to my benefit and try not to see someone who I knew would work in my benefit go home, for sure. Everybody's HOH I tried to get into their head.
And finally, I remember in the pre-shows and in your pre-interviews, you said you always watch Big Brother and you're always like screaming at the TV, like do this, do that. So do you feel like you did that? Do you feel like you set out and did what a lot of people can't do on Big Brother?
I think I did what is just like the fairly obvious moves. Like I said, I didn't want to play scared. The first night, I was like, you could go, people are going to try to put up Cindy and Risha. You could just kind of tell. They kind of stuck out a bit. I was like, do what you want to do. Put up 2 threats. I thought maybe they'd show it, like it would be, and I was like, who cares? Like, do it. Go after Zach. Cut JP. Do these moves that they scared me, quite honestly, but I was like, do it. This is what you would want to see done as a fan. The obvious moves, you got to take them.
Do you think you would have beaten Ashley too?
No.
Oh, so did Godfrey make a mistake? I guess is how we're going to end this. I think so too. Doesn't matter. She's $100,000 richer. Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.